Right, so we've discussed how hybrid working is shaping and changing the way we work. We've chatted about the benefits of 5G and how partners and collaborators are key when it comes to successfully adopting new technologies. And we've seen some of the tech in action, discovering how VR surveillance can geographically bring people together to work smarter and more efficiently. Next up today, we're joined by BT's John Vickery, who is a veritable expert in helping organisations to harness this kind of disruptive technology. And what we're going to do is take a look at how workplace learning is being transformed thanks to 5G and AR technology. Welcome to the studio, John. How are you doing?
Great, fantastic to be here, thanks.
Really pleased you're here today because we want to talk first of all about an experiment that you headed up at the Manufacturing Technology Centre in Coventry, where you took along your box of HoloLens mixed reality headsets, brought a bit of 5G along as well, and you basically tried to reinvent apprenticeship schemes. Should we take a look at how that went?
Let's do it.
2 teams, 1 task.
It's definitely not very easy.
That's cool.
How can technology powered by 5G transform the future of learning and training in the workplace for all businesses? We're here at MTC, the Manufacturing Technology Centre, who are an incubator of cutting-edge science and technology, to find out.
Our participants today have no idea what they're going to do.
I know it's some sort of training.
We'll find out when we get in.
We're going to be asking them to assemble a box. It might sound simple, but there are lots of areas where they can get this wrong.
What?
And we are looking for accuracy, we are looking for right first time, and we are looking to see how this technology helps somebody new to this operation do it correctly. Okay, first up, here we have the old school written instructions.
I remember those.
This guy's obviously studying the instructions.
Yeah.
And he's actually jumped ahead here.
They're struggling to actually know if they've done a step right or not.
Cheers checking again, double checking, triple checking.
I think the time's up now.
Gutted.
Yeah, he did not look confident on that.
I was sort of looking around for help, but knew that there was none.
It was just frustrating more than anything.
Didn't manage to finish it in the end, and I'm not entirely sure that what I've done was right.
What was really interesting was that the paper-based team felt like they needed someone there. They needed someone to help them through it.
Right, onto the HoloLens. We're actually using the digital caliper. This is where the HoloLens shows its connectivity.
Connect.
So connectivity becomes crucially important in making sure that the calipers can connect.
Absolutely.
What 5G gives you is a fantastic low and consistent latency. When you want to perform an action and you have to send that action into the network, you get a response back. That time, that delay is going to be consistent, and it's going to be consistently low to make sure that your user experience is the best it can be.
Measurement out of tolerance. Scrap the part.
They're having an easier time of understanding what to do and faster than the paper-based.
Then that one goes into there.
She looks like she's going to get this completed.
And I'm done.
The training was far more engaging than just reading off a piece of paper.
It just felt like I had an expert next to me.
It gives you the confidence that you're doing everything correctly and you haven't forgotten anything.
I think in conclusion, the HoloLens did pretty well. They had a lot more confidence when they were doing their task. They seemed to definitely enjoy it a lot more. There's just enthusiasm there around the technology.
I came here this morning thinking, I really hope that mixed reality experience is going to come through on top, and it absolutely delivered. So for any businesses looking to move to this type of technology, this is absolutely where BT can help.
I love that film, I really do. We saw the teams there using that augmented reality, mixed reality tech to complete that box building task. That's all well and good in that learning environment, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But elsewhere, are we really seeing people using this technology? And if so, where?
Absolutely. So we are seeing people use it and start to adopt it in bigger numbers. You can see from the video that augmented reality, mixed reality is not going anywhere. This is not some post-apocalyptic future fantasy anymore. This is real stuff. Businesses are already, especially the most innovative and forward-thinking businesses, are already seeing the value of this technology. That's a great example. We've also run trials with Belfast Harbour, looking at using remote experts to guide lower skilled workers out doing things like crane maintenance. So this is dealing with the ageing workforce, people who can't be in those dangerous environments anymore. being remotely, being able to support a number of other workers through augmented reality. What we showed in the last episode with University Hospitals Birmingham.
Yes.
With clinicians being connected to paramedics and being able to guide them with sonography through augmented reality. You know, healthcare, transport, logistics, manufacturing, the opportunities really are endless.
And it is this remote expert capability, you know, connecting people who are at the front line, maybe where the experts aren't, to the expert who's back at base and being able to steer them, sometimes almost physically with those haptic feedback gloves.
Right. Yep.
That's a really interesting use case. Obviously, when you're talking about that kind of live interaction, particularly, you know, when you've got the clinicians on site, you know, at the site of an RTA, for example, you need that layer of connectivity there. And that's where 5G is the ideal partner in many ways for this AR mixed reality tech.
Absolutely. 5G is going to be the technology that delivers that seamless experience that is so hugely important for mixed reality. I mean, you saw Rob showing you the screens earlier, what we talked about with Catherine around the collaboration between teams. It's making sure that that experience is as seamless as it can be, but making sure that you're not restricted, that you've not got boundaries. 5G is truly boundaryless technology. Wi-Fi is fantastic, but you're limited to a specific footprint or power level.
I was going to ask that very question, actually. So, you know, maybe people watching are thinking, well, I've got good Wi-Fi, you know, in my office, on my campus already. What is 5G going to give me beyond that?
So 5G gives you the additional manoeuvrability, being able to get out anywhere and be anywhere you are. If you've got, you know, teams responding to an RTA, you've got fire services, you've got ambulances. Wi-Fi is limited to a specific power and restricted by range. Great in your home, but what about when you're out and about and you need to be able to access information or collaborate with people? 5G opens that up, but it also gives you the latency and the user experience. That's why 5G is so cool, because we're right at the start of our journey, but it is going to be the technology that delivers that seamless experience, which is so important for these augmented and mixed realities.
Going back to that apprenticeship experiment that you conducted, were there any surprises? Anything that came out of that you go, actually, yeah, I hadn't appreciated that before. I saw it in the hands of the apprentices using the tech to try and complete that task.
Well, it massively resonated with me, particularly because I was 19 years ago, I was an apprentice myself, and I've got a loft full of boxes of ring binders with pretty pristine written instructions that you go onto your training course, you use them once, you never open them again. And what that means is that you're actually, as a trainee, you need to constantly be told by someone or guided or helped through a process to learn it. You know, a written document does not help you do that. You need something more.
Yeah, exactly. So two things there. First of all, I recently chucked a load of manuals out from when I first started, you know, doing my training courses 25 years ago about, you know, versions of operating systems that don't even exist anymore. I've not touched them since in the recycling. And that thing about experience, you know, I think Albert Einstein said learning is experience. Everything else is just knowledge. And, you know, you need to experience stuff to truly for it to get ingrained in your brain. Aphantasia is a word I learned the other day. And some people, a surprising amount of people, have problems, have a challenge when it comes to visualizing stuff. They need to experience it in order for it to make an impression on their brain, in order for them to learn. And that's where I think this technology really speaks for itself.
Absolutely. So that guy being able to recreate his training experience he'd normally given a one-on-one into an augmented reality, to be able to share that with multiple people, it just frees him up. He can be more productive. He can go out and do the jobs that he needs to do, and and that is really going to impact the bottom line for businesses.
Time now for our final poll of the day. And, you know, as we've been hearing from John and all of our guests today, lots of ways in which organisations are using AR, VR, MR, 5G. So we want to know, which areas of your business do you think could benefit from using this technology? Polls open. We'll come back to that in just a moment. And John, we've actually had an audience question come in for you as well, and this one is from Gregor. Thank you very much indeed for your question, Gregor. I like this one. We have devices that employees can take home from work. Bring your own device. Bring from home to work, rather. When are we going to see augmented reality glasses replacing the multiple monitors that we think we need to be more productive?
I think that's a great question. I mean, we've just seen Rob, haven't we?
Yes.
With this control room, this virtual control room. So I think there's 2 points to this. Firstly, are you going to be able to sit with one of those all day as a desk with your Microsoft Word open? Is that going to be anytime soon? Is it ready, the technology?
I've not seen anything myself.
Probably not.
Maybe you have. I haven't yet.
For a limited collaboration, as Rob showed, being able to all join in a control room and access lots of information, absolutely, it's ready. To be able to sit there and use a virtual reality experience to manage just your normal workload with 2 or 3 screens, probably not. But the thing that's exciting is that we know that it's not going to be 4G, 3G or 2G that's going to enable that to happen. It is going to be 5G. So as 5G starts to evolve, this is going to be the connectivity technology that is going to make that experience seamless so people can stand there with the kind of controls that make it stable and make it usable. So absolutely, we will see it, probably not for a number of years for your day-to-day tasks.
Good response. Thank you very much. Hope that was helpful. Before we wrap up for now, where do you see the future of this learning workplace training technology taking us?
So I think we're going to see, definitely from a safety perspective, being able to take people out of dangerous work environments. So say you're driving a crane or you're working down a dangerous area of a mine. I think businesses are very quickly going to start to adopt that because we see value in that. Anywhere a business can improve productivity, reduce their cost base, anywhere they can look at quality. So we saw with Hyperbat, design teams and manufacturing teams, reducing rework, reducing the amount of emails and miscommunication because they're working together. And also from a safety perspective, as I've just said, I think if it's anything that is going to deliver those 4 outcomes, businesses are going to look to invest very quickly.
Thank you very much. We asked you a question just a moment ago, having seen how other organisations are using this AR, VR, 5G technology. What areas of your business do you think would benefit from using it? Let's take a look at what you had to say on the screen. And, oh, John.
Wow.
Oh, look at the smile on John's face. Training and development comes right out at the top there, followed by enhanced customer experience, which I think is really interesting. I think you've done your job
Thank you.
John.
That's great news.
Good stuff. Well, listen, great to hear your thoughts and good to understand where you feel this technology might best fit into your organisation. John, we'll be coming back to you in a few moments' time for our Q&A. Your last chance to send in questions to John or any of our other guests on today's show. Just pop them into the Q&A panel on the side of the screen and I will get as many answers for you as I possibly can.